What is going on, folk? It's NimbleThor here, and welcome back to my mobile gaming quest, where today we are checking out TibiaME, which is short for Tibia Micro Edition, which is actually a really old MMORPG, yes, even older than smartphones. That is right, TibiaME initially released all the way back in 2003 for the Nokia 3650, which actually makes it the oldest mobile MMORPG around, and it has been around for smartphones since 2011 as well. But I have never played it before, so I figured that today we would take this really old game for a spin to see if it's still worth playing. It is still being actively updated, so it might just be worth checking out, but that's what I wanted to find out by playing it and talking about it a bit here today. Now, there are only two different classes in TibiaME, one being the warrior, which is what I'm playing, and the other one being a wizard. Oh no, wait, we're getting caught here by two wolves, and we actually don't have a lot of HP left. That is too bad. We do have one HP potion though, so we don't have to worry too much. Let's just make sure to use our ability down here in the bottom left corner. This one does so that we're guaranteed to hit the opponent every single time. You can sometimes fail at hitting because the opponent can dodge your attacks, but by using that ability, at least you make sure that the next 3 hits, I think 3 or 4 hits, are gonna be guaranteed hits on the opponent. But back to the classes again. 2 classes doesn't really give a lot of wiggle room. There's not a lot of choices right off the bat, but that's okay though, as long as the rest of the game is great. It's nice to see, by the way, that monsters actually drop items, drop loot directly to the ground. That's surprisingly rare to see in mobile MMORPGs. Oftentimes, they will only drop gold or quest items, or if they do drop loot, it doesn't drop to the ground directly. Maybe it drops into a bag, maybe it even drops directly into your inventory. I really like this system though. It's a great throwback to the early days of MMORPG gaming. And another thing I was really pleased to see is that this game can both be played in landscape mode and in portrait mode, so there should be something for everyone out there. Now, I'm playing it in landscape here because that looks better for YouTube, I think, so that's how we'll play it today, but it looks pretty much the same if we choose to play it in portrait mode instead. With that said though, the game's age is definitely starting to show. Look at this, for example. Opening the menu up here takes up the entire screen, which just makes it seem needlessly bloated. We can go into a marketplace. Even this looks weird. Why have it take up so much space? I'm not sure. I think it has to do with the fact that maybe the developers made this game to be played in portrait mode initially, and then they just added landscape mode support later on. I don't know if that's the case, but the UI, I'm not liking it. It doesn't have a lot to offer, really, and I think they should go back and redo it. They're most likely not going to do that, and so we're stuck with this really horrible UI. And likewise, the controls are also not that great. We have 2 different options. We can either tap the ground like so, or we can use this joystick here on the right side of the screen, which works alright-ish, but it's just not as great as I feel like it could have been. Now, look at this. We actually picked up another item here, which has 16 in damage, so that might actually be stronger than the hammer we're using at the moment. So let's equip this one, and now we have 16 in damage. We should theoretically be dealing more damage, but it seems like we might be dealing less damage. 5 in damage, 7 in damage. You know what? Let's switch back to the hammer here real quick. We are very low on HP now, by the way. Look at this. Luckily, we're gonna move up here. We're soon gonna get away from all these wolves here, and we're gonna move up to an NPC, because I've actually just finished one of the quests that I was doing, and so we just have to find our way. I think it's up here, where I have to end the quest again, if I remember correctly. There is a small pointer on the screen as well, trying to tell me where I have to go, but I feel like I might have made a mistake though. Are we going in the right direction, guys? This is where the game gets tricky, because you have to get to know these maps. Oh no, I think we've actually run in circles instead. Go to Lupuna, go 2 levels up, okay. So 2 levels up, could this be the first one? So this might be right. Oh, over here it is. We ran down again. Sorry about that. Ran around needlessly down there and nearly got myself killed. But luckily, we're up now and we're moving in the right direction. You guys can see a small pointer to the right side of the screen, right over here, just to the left of the inventory. And that one is a tiny little help indicating us where we have to go to finish this quest. So let's see. The quest NPC should be right over here to this side. Now, the second thing I don't really like about this game, and I am gonna get into what I like about it, by the way, but the second thing I don't like is that the combat is very repetitive. We just do a normal attack over and over and over again. We don't even have to touch anything. We just have to walk up to the monster, and we start doing normal attacks over and over again. Now, this is made up for by skills that we can unlock, though, so that part at least gets a tiny bit better, but upgrading and leveling up those skills is a rather slow process as well, and the game is super grindy. Leveling up takes a really long time, but have a look at it though. We can go in here and we can go into skills, and I'm gonna show you guys we have attack skills or defense skills. Now, I have focused primarily on attack skills, and we actually have 1 skill point left, so for some reason we can't unlock this one yet. Let's try to raise it. You don't meet all the requirements for this skill, but can I see what the requirements are? I don't think so. So that's another way where the UI kind of sucks. But it looks like we can actually operate the level of First Strike though. And so now First Strike, let's see what it does now. Performs a guaranteed hit for the next 3 attacks. And it now only has a 32 seconds cooldown. So I guess we can get that down to 24. And then maybe, just maybe after that, we can go level up the other skills. Now, apart from that, we also have an attribute system, which is of course what at least makes the character progression somewhat interesting. We can upgrade hit points, we can upgrade mana, attack, and defense. Now, we gotta upgrade attack and defense if we want to be able to equip new gear. So I want to go for upgrading attack a single time. So let's raise that 1 point. And then let's go back and do the same for defense. So now both of those are level 5. By the way, I hope you guys are getting what I mean by bad UI. Just look at all the times we have to keep clicking around in menus, menu after menu after menu, to be able to equip something, to be able to, change even just the slightest setting or upgrade something, add a new skill, upgrade an attribute. So now let's go check what our newest quest is. We can go in here to our quest log, check out the incomplete quests, and show what is up with this one here. Lupina knows Sevis and said he is in the swamps northwest of here. Okay, so we probably don't have to teleport out of here just yet. Oh, I see the small indicator as well now. It's hiding between our character icon in the top left corner because we have to go northwest from here. And so that's just another way in which the UI is somewhat horrible. I mean, just the fact that that arrow could be hiding behind our character icon shows that the UI really isn't ideal. It looks like we found Sevis though. Finally, we've been looking for this guy for a really, really long time, by the way. Pretty much the entire introduction to this game is all about finding Sevis somehow. But at least we finally found him now, so maybe he's willing to sell us one of those HP potions hiding behind him. I hope so, we could really use that. But the last thing I don't really like about this game is that equipping new gear improves our stats, but it does not change how our character look like. So, for example, even if we equip a battle hammer, our character will still hold a sword and shield in his hands. That sucks. It's not very immersive. I wish we would be able to change that. Look at this. For example, I switch to a sword now. Nothing changes on our actual character. I switch back to this battle hammer. And once again, nothing really changes. But what does the game then even have to offer with all these negative things that I've now mentioned? Well, first of all, the world is really, really big. And there is a lot of quests that take us all around the map if we want them to. We don't have to do the quests. If we don't want to, we can just run around and try to explore the world on our own. But we can choose to do the quests, and they will tell us, of course, some of the story. They'll introduce us to different gameplay elements. And I really like that aspect. And some of those quests also even include small puzzle elements, like, for example, having to navigate 4 different switches in order to unlock a passage, or something along the lines of that. So that is at least somewhat interesting. Let's have a look at this new item we got as well. We got a Barbarian Axe, which has 22 in damage, but I don't think we're able to equip that one yet because we need to be attack level 7, which we aren't just yet. So let's go back here and look at our quest log once again to see what it is we have to do now. The Simy Parchment, okay? Sevis said he saw a similar parchment like the one Santos gave me in a dungeon northeast of here. Maybe we can read the whole text if we compare both parchments. I gotta find it somewhere in that slime cave. Yuck. Alright, let's get some directions here. I don't know where we have to go. It seems we have to go 1 level up. Can that really be true? That's where we came from. Oh no, it's definitely down here. Look at this. There is a slime right here. Let's try attacking it. Hopefully they're not too powerful. Can't I attack it? Okay, here we go. We're dealing an alright amount of damage. It doesn't look like the slime is dealing a lot of damage to us though. Luckily, otherwise we're gonna need HP potions somehow. But in any case, the questing system and the huge world is not exactly groundbreaking, far from it, but it's still interestingly. And secondly, there is actually a few PvP islands in the game as well, which is great to see since some mobile MMORPGs only have PvE and no PvP whatsoever. And apart from those two things, I think for most people, the main appeal of TibiaME is that it allows you to do pretty much what you want to do whenever you want to do it. And some people have played this game for literally years. Some people have played it for 6-7 years and they're still enjoying the game till this day. And the game just never really seems to disappear. It's been around for so many years now, and it's still out both on Android and out on iOS, and I think maybe even still out for Nokia devices as well. So if you're looking for a long-term MMORPG to really dive into, then TibiaME might just be the perfect game for you. However though, before you actually make that decision, let's just talk about the monetization for a moment. Because first of all, there is a $5 per month premium membership, which allows you to explore a larger area of the world, much like in RuneScape, for example. And it also gives you the ability to create guilds, and it gives you a permanent 50% XP increase, which is obviously, needless to say, a huge advantage over free players. So yes, buying that is definitely also absolutely an advantage. Now, does that make the game pay to win? Does it ruin the game? Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't. I think most people who buy that premium subscription are the people who really love the game and they want to support the developers as well. But we also have Platinum, which is a premium currency which can be used to buy access to individual islands of the world. It can also be used to buy, for example, just a 50% XP boost, if that's what you want. And you can also use it to buy some of the other things that are included in the premium membership. Now, we had to run away here, look at this, because we were losing so much HP, and I just do not have an HP potion. I don't think this is a minor might potion, so this is basically a mana potion, which we don't really need because we don't really use a lot of mana, but we need HP for sure. Luckily, we are recovering HP, as you guys can see, at a relatively fast pace. So now with some HP recovered, let's try attacking this here again, and let's not forget that we're out on a quest. We have to find that other part of the parchment. But ultimately, going back to the monetization, the game is sadly pay to win, since you can also buy items from the marketplace for Platinum, the premium currency, and you will eventually reach a point where you can't truly continue without the premium membership as well, because the rest of the world is quite literally closed off behind a paywall. So does this ruin the game? For most people, probably yes, sadly. However, if you like the overall premise of the game, I would suggest checking out the PC version of Tibia, which is supposed to be much better apparently, and also has a very active Reddit community as well, so you can head over there, get some beginner tips, and that's definitely recommended because these games, they really do not hold your hand. They don't have long tutorials, they don't really explain many of the core gameplay elements. It's up for you to find that out, all on your own, or together with, for example, the community over on Reddit. So with that said, let's wrap this old game up here. This is probably the one and only video I'm gonna do on the game, but I figured we had to cover this game because it is the first mobile MMORPG, so it is part of mobile gaming history. So with that wrapped up, let's get into the opposite of history, which I guess is news. So the mobile gaming news of the day is that the nominees for the 2019 Google Play Awards have been announced, and depending on when you watch this, the winners may also already have, been announced, so go give that a Google search if you're interested. But games like Shadowgun Legends, Badland Brawl, Old School RuneScape, Garena Free Fire, and Harry Potter Hogwarts Mysteries are among the nominees. But which game do you feel deserve an award, though, for the best game overall on mobile? I think Old School RuneScape would get my vote, as it's my favorite mobile MMORPG, but who would you give an award if you could? Let's discuss that in the comment section, and until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.